If you or your loved one is impacted by diabetes and have questions, the Barbados Diabetes Foundation has the answers.
It's always easier to reverse diabetes, certainly control it properly and avoid complications if you at least know that you have it.
But it's just again to re-emphasize the importance of good diabetic care. And diabetic care involves really almost every part of the body. So it's your feet, your heart. But again, we're coming back to what our main focus is at this time is the eye care.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren, St. Michael, is your source of diabetic care. You can reach them by calling 243-EYES, 243-3937 for more information.
It's not just a good morning, it's a great Saturday morning. And you are doing one of your favorite things you like to do every week. Tune in to VOB 92.9 FM and you are about to hear one of your favorite programs. 15 of the healthiest 10th anniversary minutes you will hear on your radio. All with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and the Barbados Community Foundation. Good morning, everybody. This is Peter the Voice here. And if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, stop whatever you are doing right now and listen to this show telling you all about the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Now, we know you like listening to this show every Saturday because you get good information on it, and we've got some good information coming up today too. But you're not just supposed to listen to the show, you are supposed to visit the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located up there in Warren, St. Michael. When is the last time you went? Serious? You can find them right behind Eunice Gibson Polyclinic. Have you visited them recently?
I supposed to go, but I ain't get to do it yet. I be watching cricket.
Don't let watching cricket stop you from looking after your health. Well, I have got some good news for you this morning. What are you doing Tuesday? You was busy? Well, cancel it because you need to make time for this. You want to save some money and also look after your health? Well, listen to this. Every Tuesday is Priority Health Screening Day for BARB members until July the 30th at the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. So you get 10% BARB discount off individual services. So instead of $100, right, you only pay $90. And check this, you can get a vascular screening and an eye screening package valued at $200 for only $175. Wow, that's an unbeatable deal. You get an eye screening for diabetic retinopathy, which you're supposed to do every year, so you know your eye's good. You get a vascular screening to make sure that your arteries clear and you do not have any bad circulation, all for that reduced price. The numbers to call to make an appointment and get more information are, get somebody to write this down. I don't just write it down. Don't call. Make sure to call the people. The numbers are 417-0305 or WhatsApp 243-3937. We promise you good health information, and here is some coming up. You see how hot it does be these days?
It is going to sweat like a pot cover.
Well, later you're going to be hearing Dr. Diane Bradford on how diabetics can deal with this heat, and also cautions on how diabetics should be dealing with alcohol when out at crop-over events. You're going to want to hear that. But first, we are going to hear Nurse Tracy on how to store and use your insulin.
Good day, this is Tracy Bushell, Diabetes Specialist Nurse for the Maria Holder Diabetes Center for the Caribbean. Just wanted to share a few tips and tricks for you regarding the safe use and storage of insulin. You may be using a syringe and a vial for your insulin, or you might possibly be using an insulin pen where you pop a needle on the end. Obviously, safe disposal of sharps, i.e. the needles, is imperative, so it's important that if you don't have access to a proper sharps bin, you may use something like a plastic bottle that you can pop all your needles and syringes in, screw the top back on and then tape it up, and then place it safely in the household rubbish. You may use a syringe or a needle up to 2 to 3 times, but of course if it bends it needs to be changed at that time. Also need to be aware of the fact that there are 2 syringes. One is a 0.5 ml syringe and the other one is a 1 1 ml syringe. On a 0.5 ml syringe, each line on the syringe represents 1 unit. On a 1 ml syringe, each line represents 2 units. So it's important that you know which syringe you have, and if unsure, please discuss with your healthcare provider. Storage of insulin is key. It should never be placed in anywhere that has direct heat or sunlight, and the insulin should never be allowed to freeze. Insulin should always be stored at a temperature of less than 25 degrees centigrade, and of course the temperatures here in Barbados are often a lot higher than that. The correct place for storage would be in the door of your fridge if possible, and also try not to place it at the back of the fridge, because that can also cause ice particles to form because it tends to be a little bit colder. Please be mindful of the expiry date on your insulin and never use beyond this date. If you notice any particles or discoloration in the insulin, it is showing that it is possibly damaged and therefore should be discarded and a new either vial or pen started. For those people that need to carry their insulin with them, usually a mealtime insulin, it's also important to store it in a cool pack, of which you can purchase from most stores, or you can buy a specific travel case for insulin which is available online.
Thank you, Nurse Tracy. And now we go to Dr. Diane Brathwaite, or Dr. D, on how we can deal with this heat that we've been getting recently. Cheese, the bread, it's be hot, yeah.
It's very hot nowadays. Hydrate, 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 and hydrate.
So, Dr. D, you can hydrate with rum?
Hydrate with water. That is the best thing to hydrate the body with. And also in view possibly of some of the things you may be consuming, you also want to make sure you're drinking more water as well. So you're just keeping the body well hydrated, getting rid of any extra sugars or other things, hint, hint, which you may not want hanging around in the body for too long, and you don't want to become dehydrated. Okay, so make that water bottle trendy, and even better, take your refillable water bottle with you, and set a new trend. Although I know lots of people are doing a great job in hydrating with water these days, and continue to promote that.
So you can drink sweet drinks then?
Avoid sugary sweetened beverages. It can be very difficult and even tempting sometimes to start guzzling those sugar sweetened beverages and soft drinks. We really want to encourage persons who are event planners, patrons, etc. Please consider catering for persons living with diabetes. There are a lot of people living with pre-diabetes and diabetes and hypertension in Barbados, and it can be very disconcerting when you go and you can't even find either a bottle of water or maybe, like a diet soft drink, although we advise people generally not to consume them on a regular basis. I mean, let's be real, we're all human, we want to have fun, and if that is the lesser evil, well, maybe we can do that, but please cater to those persons. But generally try to avoid sugar sweetened beverages, including excesses of processed fruit juice as well. Avoid the excesses of sugar sweetened beverages and processed fruit juices as well. Everything in moderation, my friends. And my final addition for today, and we'll get back to next week, our other additions are of course going to be, that number one topic, alcohol. Okay, so it's like smoking. If you don't smoke, don't start. If you don't drink, don't start. If you are going to consume alcohol, please do so only in moderation, being careful to avoid the things which are higher in sugars and can actually raise your blood sugar and maybe make you not feel so happy the following morning. Also, we know that if you're going to be consuming alcohol, it's always advised that you don't consume alcohol on an empty stomach, and that goes for almost everybody, whether you have diabetes or not. I just want to highlight some things about alcohol. Alcohol obviously has different amounts of calories, different amounts of sugar, so you may want to think about, okay, this is my favorite drink, or what is the best thing to consume if I'm going to choose to consume it in moderation. Don't become a beer guzzler because that's what your group or your posse is doing. It won't serve you well the following morning. You may have a very high sugar, you may be very dehydrated, headaches, etc. But another caution about alcohol. Alcohol can raise the blood sugar immediately, but because of its impact on the liver, it can actually drop the blood sugar several hours later. So please do be careful if you choose to consume alcohol. And also you need to consider whether the alcohol may maybe interacting with your medication, making it work more potently or less potently. So have that candid discussion with your healthcare providers. We believe always in being upfront, and have that candid discussion about how you're going to cope with what's going on during the crop over season. I want you to be safe on the road, be considerate when driving, and let's just all stay safe this season and have a good season. We'll come back with part 2 next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. D, for that good information. We look forward to next week. As we move on to our song of the day, what do you get when you put cricket and calypso together? You get Dr. Anthony Gabby Carter with his evergreen calypso, Hit It. Compliments the Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
Jill was playing cricket with me on a pasta one day. She bowling like sobas and I couldn't get the ball played. She start with in and out swingers that puzzle me. Every time that I make a stroke, I missing she bowl it slow. I ought my total blister she. But when I play for heartbreak, it was Google. She tell me, hit it, how you missing so? You used to brag before. If you could handle me, hit it and let me see. Hit it in the corner, hit it in the cover, hit it in mid-wicket, hit it, hit it, hit it.
Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937. The Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
I take new position and waiting for the ball to come. But when Jill deliver, she make me look like a dum-dum. She take the pace off, I went forward much too fast. I slip up and I tumble down all in the grass. She laugh and tell me, get up man and try once more. To see if you could hit my ball to make a score. She tell me, hit it, oh you're missing so. You used to brag before. If you could handle me, hit it and let me see. Hit it in the corner, hit it in the cover, hit it in mid-wicket, hit it, hit it, hit it.
We now go to a lady who has experienced the Barbados Eye Screening Program. How long have you had diabetes?
I have diabetes now for 22 years. I got gestational diabetes which went after childbirth, and it then developed into diabetes.
Tell us about your experience with the screening program.
Well, I found the service is very good, and I would advise anyone who is a diabetic, give it a try because it definitely do work. Once you follow the plan and you follow what you're supposed to do, yes, it can improve your eyesight, and yes, it do work. It can work for you.
So you would say that the advice that you got from the Diabetes Foundation was helpful in helping you to cope with your diabetes?
Yes, it was very helpful. It was very extremely helpful because, as I said, when they first went into the plan, yes, you saw your doctor, but they didn't only just stop there on concentrating on the eyes. I had a nutritionist that taught me the right way to eat, a physical therapist. I also was taught, as I said, the right way to eat, the portions that you do put on your plate is very important, and there was a chart that was given for me to follow. They didn't tell me. They also gave me documentation, proven documentation. I had pamphlet, everything that I cannot follow, so I wouldn't get off track or go astray and do my own thing.
For over 10 years, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center has been effectively serving the diabetic and pre-diabetic community of Barbados with a range of international standard health services, which include diabetic eye screening, vascular screening, nutritional advice, and consultations with diabetes specialists. So if you are listening to VOB right now and you have a diabetic related query or you need to make an appointment, you can call 243-3937. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram. The last 15 minutes you heard on VOB was brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program in partnership with the Barbados Community Foundation and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center celebrating its 10th anniversary. Until next time,
Drink more water. Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937.